Hello, business investors. Hello, business owners. It is Wednesday. I hope you're having a great week and you are about to kill it if you haven't killed it so far on Monday and Tuesday. We've got some great questions from business owners on how they can grow their business, what they should do about marketing people who are underperforming, or how to hire marketing people. So, love to dive into these questions and really dig into the meat of it. I've been hiring and firing for over 20 years with both my business and working in HR and leadership in other companies. So these questions are kind of near and dear to my heart. So I'm going to be starting off on what do you do if somebody you've hired, a marketing person in this case, is being unresponsive? So uh, I believe if somebody is being unresponsive and you're not happy, they're probably underperforming as well, would be my guess. And definitely letting the person know specifically their behavior is important. I don't have a great communication style. People say it's a bit of a passive communication style, but some people really need to be told what they're doing, how it's affecting you, and what's going to happen if that doesn't change. So, in the case of somebody not being responsive, somebody you've hired to do a specific task, you need to be very clear when you want them to talk to you and what you want them to update you about. You could also just fire somebody who's unresponsive. That's definitely an option, but definitely a best practice in suppliers, employees is let people know what's going to happen and why, unless something changes, because it is a lot of effort to go out and find somebody new, right? So that's really my advice is really think about, okay, how can I either salvage this relationship, and what's a way that I can um, really move past if I have to terminate a person as well, right? So be very clear how you want them to respond. And if you haven't found a replacement and you think this might push them over the edge, saying, I need you to check in with me at the start of the day and the end of the day, or I want to meet with you Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I want to be updated on this, this, and this. Does that work for you? Um, so really get specific on your needs, and also give them a warning. Say, I'm going to have to find somebody else to do this role if you're not able to meet that expectation. And one of the concerns this member has is what they'll do if they don't have that person in place. So my quick suggestion is find a provider who could replace that person, even if it's more expensive. It sounds like the person is likely underperforming, so paying somebody, maybe $1,000 a month, a service provider, or finding somebody on Upwork, hiring a VA, specifically in this case to do email marketing. There are hundreds of thousands of businesses that'll do email marketing for you. So if you hired somebody and they're not performing, having a service that'll replace it. So you can find amazing people on Upwork, anywhere between probably about $10 and $30 per hour, who've got tons of email marketing experience, and be able to slot them in. So if you've got an existing platform, you'll be able to find people with that experience. But also definitely look at a local provider. They might even be able to do a bit of kind of pay per performance as well, right? So be creative, have a best alternative to a negotiated agreement. So, you're going to be negotiating with this person who's underperforming, and your alternative should likely be a contractor who's got lots of email marketing experience, has 5-star reviews, is a top worker on Upwork, something like that already in place to really have that ready to go in case you push this person too far, or they come out and say it, I'm not good at this, or I've got something else going on in my life and I can't continue. So our next question comes from Robin. How do I convince someone to partner or invest in my business as an artist? That's a really interesting question. I've got a good friend. He's an artist. He is going through a bit of a kind of business transformation, doing lots of online marketing right now. So he and I are chatting often about kind of that journey. So how do I convince somebody to partner with me on the business side? Because you're an artist, right? So you've got to be able to be producing money, right? So you've got to have likely sold uh, your art for a reasonable amount of money and have a path to be able to make even more money if somebody partners with you. So having a really good understanding of how much money you're currently making and how much money you could make if somebody else takes on tasks. Um, I'm not sure how many people really partner with artists, but the best place I've seen people partner with artists is in high-end restaurants and galleries. I'm assuming those are businesses that are actively bringing in clients who are likely to purchase art, right? So that puts them on display, brings potential customers by. Um, if you want somebody to invest, you really need to get into a business plan. Reach out to Sean and the team at Accelerators Organization. Look for the resources on a business plan, but you've got to be able to really convince people that your art is going to sell for a certain amount that will benefit both of you in a partnership. If you've got a really good fan, they might be a partner that you can rely on through testimonials, doing video. One of the things I definitely suggest is jump on YouTube. There's some great people who are supporting artists and how they sell their art. I personally, if I was going to be selling art, I would be recording how that art is made, kind of getting your artist message out there, and hopefully driving more traffic. Super tough to attract partners and investors, but if your paintings are selling for 10,000 and you're able to produce at least 12 a year, you have about $60,000 there to split, right, with somebody else. I don't know the cost structure of painting in your studio and things like that, but you can put that into a short business plan and present that to people. So super challenging, Robin. I appreciate the question. Definitely utilize the resources that Accelerator has for you. Next question comes from Emily. What makes a good marketing person? How do you know when you have hired the right marketing person for your business? So in this case, Emily has Alliance Virtual Solutions, so subcontracts virtual paralegals and virtual legal assistants to law firms. Love it. Love the business model. We also offer direct hire placements for law firms as well. So recruitment, love that space. I know somebody who does incredible fees, $100,000, $250,000 fees recruiting partners in law firms who have their book of business going to new law firms. So great space to be in, and everybody needs assistance. So a really good way to get in. How do you know when you've hired the right marketing person for your business? To me, it's when they're asking the right questions and they're making changes, right? So we outsource our web development and marketing support. We create all our own content in-house. But when they're asking the questions about, who converts, how people are converting, how they become customers, those are really good questions because they're interested. And there's one thing to market and put your brand out there, but really figuring out who converts, that marketing person is worth gold, right? So if they're really diving into your CRM, they're diving into your website, and they're asking new clients and new leads how they found you, that's really key to me, right? That inquisitiveness, and that ability to make changes and iterations, right? So definitely look for somebody who's got lots of questions, and not somebody who says they're a marketing person and expects you to have the marketing plan and make improvement and changes, right? Somebody who's good at asking questions is so key, and good at executing and making changes. The next question comes from Sherry. What's the best minimal way to get prospects into my sales funnel? So Sherry's got a self-publishing service company. where I help leaders produce quality books. Perfect. I'm your target market. I went recently through a master class that somebody put on related to publishing your own book. So yeah, it's great. So you've been using your referral basis, and you've been connecting through prospects through direct marketing or direct messaging. You mentioned DM, and you're getting a few prospects through your social media and website, and you want to draw more people into your funnel. And you got weekly sales calls, and you're really trying to close deals. So looking for more predictive weekly and monthly income. I really love that idea. You've got the sales funnel, you're really figuring out and how to refine it. And how do I get prospects in my sales funnel? So one thing I'm super keen on these days, Sherry, is YouTube. YouTube is owned by Google. So they're the biggest search platform out there. People search within YouTube, but also people search on Google, and there's a lot of terms that they'll search for in Google and present a video, right? How to publish your own book is probably really hard to kind of compete, but if you're producing good video, there's lots of ways to get it out there, and one of the best ways to keep it out there is on YouTube. So I would start by producing short videos if you can. If you're not good on camera, there's lots of ways to do videos, to share your knowledge on publishing, how to produce a book, how to be a leader, and what the results of doing that book will be. So definitely, I'd be active on LinkedIn, where some leaders are active. Getting out to some leadership events, right? So I don't know what community you're in, but if you can get out to events such as your local chamber, any volunteering you can do for other organizations that have a lot of business leaders. If you look at some top charities and stuff, there are a lot of business leaders who will be involved in some of the top charities as well. I just reached out to an organization for the Children's Hospital in our area because I know a lot of leaders are there. So the lowest cost, if you can get a YouTube channel that also a lot of people are viewing and seeing things, YouTube can actually give you some revenue. I mean, it won't be very much until you have tens of thousands of visitors, but they might not buy from you, but you can also add affiliate links as well, right? So anybody who's thinking of writing, they might want to use other computers. You can add Amazon links, so affiliate links. So definitely I would look into video as much as possible, and YouTube is a great source. And then also Facebook. Definitely it is fairly cheap to advertise on Facebook, and doing short videos. I believe they're called Reels. They're shorts on YouTube, but really short, informative stuff on publishing books, thought leadership, how to write a book, the impact that it'll have on your career and also your teams. Super good. If you want an example of somebody's sales funnels, connect with me on LinkedIn and I can share a masterclass that I went through. I think it's been recorded live, but definitely that masterclass sales funnel is super good as well, right? So you can create a course on how to publish your own book and get that out there. And the nice thing about creating video or a course on how to publish your own book, that can be evergreen, right? Where a lot of the activities you're doing are super good for converting people, but you also want to have that kind of incoming leads on an ongoing basis, seeing how many people are looking at your videos, subscribing, seeing how you can grow that, and then kind of build those numbers, right? So if you know that 10,000 people are viewing your videos, out of that you're getting 250 leads, out of that you're converting 25, you can build your sales funnel. Definitely I think doing it on multiple platforms is important as well. So you can definitely do it on Google or on YouTube pretty easily and almost cheaply or free, but then doing some paid Facebook or LinkedIn is a really good idea, and promoting it on your own channels as well, right? It's going to take about 18 impressions before somebody's going to really say, oh yeah, I'm going to go and publish my book or write a book. with Sherry and her organization. Next question is from Anne. If you needed to develop a business plan, would you hire someone or use off-the-shelf software, or do it yourself if it was the first time doing it? I personally did my business plan myself for a business that's been here for 19 years. Now, because I've got revenue coming in, I would hire somebody because it's time value of money, right? The nice thing is Accelerator's organization has great resources, so you can do a shorter business plan. And what I really like about doing a business plan is probably your market survey, because it forces you to get out of your product and your planning and hopefully call potential customers. So I always say call 30 potential customers, get them on the phone, and make sure they're spending a similar amount of money, or they would be interested in spending an incremental amount of money based on what you can tell them about the product, right? So yeah, I would definitely use resources here yourself here, and that business plan can hopefully get you in front of the decision makers that can at least give you feedback to improve it, and then that way you can also know, if you're looking at other people to do business plans, what kind of quality you're getting. There's people who write a business plan for $10,000, and people will write one for about $100 to $300 on Upwork, and some who've got really good success doing it as well, right? So definitely, if you've got that excess cash flow, start at Upwork on the lowest, but definitely there are people who can help you write a business plan. But use the free stuff. I wouldn't use any off-the-shelf software to write a business plan personally. Yeah, I wouldn't use software to do that. Great. Those are great questions. I hope things work out on who you're hiring and who you may be firing, and that you are getting those leads. And if you need that investor, you're making a little bit of revenue. You're able to show your path to profitability and why a partner would invest in you, their time, even if they're not ready to invest their money, right? Thanks so much. Appreciate all your hard work, listening, ask any questions as well, and talk to you soon. Sherry, that's awesome. You're using TikTok and Instagram Reels, but yeah, YouTube Shorts and YouTube long form content, right? If you want another tip, there's TubeBuddy and vidIQ that can help you create search terms, or will show you which search terms people are looking for and what videos to create. So vidIQ and TubeBuddy are two great. They have free packages that help you figure out what people are going to be searching for, both on Google, but primarily on YouTube. So you can really tailor your video, make your title relevant to the search terms, and then talk about that right in the first kind of intro to your video, and multiple times throughout your video. And if you're producing value, YouTube will really promote that, right? There's lots of garbage reels and shorts, but what you're doing really is something people are going to be searching for. So hope that helps. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys next month.